Welcome back. Now, exporting has never been a simple business because of the so many challenges that come with it. But if one is determined, topped with identifying the real market and networking, then the results could be a dream come true. In this week's Let's Talk Exports, we host Meg Jackie, the General Manager at Jacana Foods Limited, an agro-processing company that adds value to fruits and vegetables through drying and juice processing, and among others. Jackie shares the key aspects of her journey through the 21 years of Jacana's existence and what it takes to be an international exporter. Well, tonight on Let's Talk Exports, I am joined by the General Manager, Jacana Foods Limited, Meg Jackie, who is going to, talk to us about how she does the business, which business has been in existence for now 21 years. Meg, you are welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, please. So how is everything with Jacana?
We're doing great. Jacana has been around, as you said, for 21 years. And it started with a Ugandan American who had learned about food processing in the United States. And President Museveni actually asked him to come back to Uganda and bring back the knowledge that he learned in food processing there. And he started with banana juice. And that was 21 years ago, and we've built a strong business.
Okay. Do you mind briefly sharing with our viewers, of course, your export journey this far, because 21 years is not a simple thing.
Yeah, so the export started a few years ago with countries like Rwanda, Kenya, a little bit to Europe. We ran into some challenges around packaging. If you understand the international market, packaging is the #1 thing that any small, medium-sized enterprise in manufacturing, especially food manufacturing, needs to recognize as the #1 thing that a consumer is going to look at on the shelf. They're going to choose a good-looking package versus a not-so-good-looking package. And so we've run into some challenges here in Uganda with that. We don't have necessarily all world-class packaging here, but the government is encouraging us to do that, and that's great, and that's exactly what we need. Last year, we were fortunate enough to have an American company come into Uganda looking for organic certified dried fruit. And Jacana Foods, we had just started with a dried fruit business, and so he looked upon us to take on this challenge and take on this opportunity to become organic certified and Fair for Life certified, which has opened the doors for us in the American market.
How many people are you employing?
We currently have 15 employees.
50?
15, and we're expecting in the next week or so to probably add another possibly 10 employees, because we've just ordered some new equipment and we now have to double our capacity to be able to ship enough products.
All right. What are some of the key aspects that one should look out for, as they prepare to export into international markets like USA?
Well, I think you have to always look at the consumer or the market in mind. You have to really understand how can your product benefit that consumer that you're trying to reach. So for us, the American market is a $30 billion organic market, certified organic market, and Uganda is actually #2 in the world for the number of certified organic farmers. So Uganda is in a very unique position to be able to capitalize on that market. And so you always have to look at what is the consumer looking for, and in our case it was our buyer wanted organic certified products that he can then distribute within the United States. So you always have to keep your market and your consumer in mind. We don't want to just create products just to create products, right? He had a demand, and he came to us and asked us if we could meet that demand.
All right, the question is, government of Uganda is always, until today, is always emphasizing the importance of value addition on agricultural products, and you seem to have it right, as per your explanation. Now, my question is, what advice would you share with the SMEs to get their value addition like you are doing?
Well, I think one thing I've learned recently is that for any of our products, there are different levels of markets. I was just in a meeting the other day where someone said their customers in Qatar, they only like straight chilies. They won't buy any chilies that have a curve to it. And so this company was concerned that they didn't have a market for curved chilies. And I turned around and I said, of course you could. You could sell those chilies to someone who's making chili sauce, for example, so that you're not wasting those chilies. Same with coffee. I've recently been trained on how to grade coffee. And there's fine coffee, there's premium coffee, and then there's undergrade coffee. And somebody will still buy that undergrade coffee beans because they are going to mix it with something else, and it's going to be for a market that maybe is not looking for fine and premium. So I think us as agro-processors, we always have to recognize that there's different levels of product quality that we can be looking for, and not everything, we shouldn't be looking at losses, we should be looking at as new opportunities to sell it to someone else under some other circumstance. But there, you know, I came here a few years ago because I love the country, I love the people, and I love the opportunities. We have a huge amount of opportunities, and the government is right. Value addition is really where we need to focus, because there's a world market out there that Uganda can so easily tap into if we could just get some standards right, some certifications, as well as our packaging.
The other question is, as far as distance is concerned, USA is of course very far away from Uganda. Now we have markets like Kenya, Tanzania, maybe Burundi and Rwanda for that matter. So what motivated you to get in touch with, as far as USA is concerned, the US market?
Well, you know, for any product, you always have to look at what is that consumer willing to pay, right? And if a consumer is willing to pay for us to ship that product all the way to the US and to incorporate those shipping charges as part of what they will pay, then that's just business, right? It's not like it's a shipping cost out of our pocket. The consumer that's buying it in the other end is going to pay for that, and they're willing to pay for it. Because we have, for the American market, we cannot grow pineapples there, we cannot grow jackfruit, we cannot grow papaya, we cannot grow sweet bananas. So because we don't have that in that market, we as an American consumer, we're willing to pay for it because it's unique, and it's if it's organic, it's healthy. We know that if we're following fair trade practices, everyone that we've been working with is being treated fairly, our environment is being protected, and that's what that American consumer is willing to pay for.
Currently, we've been crying fall of the depreciating shilling against the dollar. How have you managed to cope up with the situation?
Well, you know, we're very fortunate because we have an American buyer. We're paid in dollars, so we are quite fortunate from that perspective. And I encourage others to, you know, if you're going to get into the organic market, really understand what those consumers in Europe, in Japan, in China, and in America are looking at from an organic perspective. Because I think, as I went back and said previously, you know, second largest number of certified organic farmers in this world comes from Uganda, and that's a market that is growing and growing rapidly. So if we can get more and more SMEs to be looking at that, the certifications are not so easy, but once you get it, if you can be paid in dollars, your business is going to do great.
Okay. The other thing I want to know, you know, I always look at the local man down there. So what aspects could this person look for as they try, if they really want to tap into this?
Well, they're going to, like, we have to work with farmers associations. Okay. That's part of our requirement for being Fair for Life certified. We give that empowerment to those associations to build up their product base. That someone like me and someone like Jacana Foods, we want to come and buy from a consistent group of farmers who are self-managing amongst themselves, because if one of our farmers fails in this certification, potentially all of our farmers fail, as do we. And so it becomes a huge trust amongst these farmers associations to follow the standards, to follow the rules, to want to grow their businesses. You know, one of the things, I don't like to call our farmers. I like them to be known as farming businesses. And we teach them how to make sure that they know that they have a profitable business. Because so many farmers, if you ask them, do you make money off your business? They honestly have no idea. And they, so we want them to learn how to make sure that they are earning a decent living, and that's what we're required to do.
And finally, back to exporting. Where else is your market apart from the USA?
Well, we will be reaching out to Europe, Japan, and China, because those are markets that are demanding not only dried fruits themselves, but also that organic certification. Organic is the fastest growing food segment. So if you're going to get into a food business and you're going to want to export, get into something that's growing, not something that's not growing, So that's my encouragement.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks again for having me.
Well, as you heard it from the horse's mouth, if you're going to get into business, you know where to start from, you know what to do, and please stay focused. Let's take another break, but when we return, we bring you the latest in the money markets. Welcome back. Uganda's exchange rate against the US dollar, in common with those of many other countries around the world, has come under strong pressure in recent weeks. This is mainly for two reasons. First, the dollar has itself strengthened dramatically on global markets, for example, by 13% against the euro since the start of 2015. And second, in Uganda, demand for dollars has increased strongly, mainly from the corporate sector, to fund imports and dividend payments to foreign shareholders following improved corporate profits in 2015. Unfortunately, export earnings have declined mainly because of the problems in regional markets. Hence, the current account deficit has widened, and hence the US dollar is buying at 3,536.09, selling at 3,546.09. The pound sterling is buying at 5,505.34, selling at 5,520.91. The euro is buying at 3,905.97, selling at 3,917.01. And the Kenyan shilling is buying at 35.05, selling at 35.14. Well, that's all we had for you this week. As usual, our mandate is to give you the best business information, and your role is to use it for better business ventures. I am Jocelyn Nachibule. Have a blessed night and enjoy the rest of our programming.